welcome to another episode of Crafty Beer Reviews. Today I will be reviewing, well, as you can see, I've got a growler here. So, it's time to get down on Friday night. What is in this growler? It is none other than what has become a classic craft beer. This is Founder's Breakfast Stout. It's a beer that I've had for quite a few years now. I have never reviewed it for whatever reason. It just seems to be like there's always some new release out. But yeah, so as you guys know, this is a fall seasonal from Founders. So they brew it with oat flakes. They also use chocolate and coffee. So yeah, super stoked to be trying this on tap. And it was only $13 for a growler. That's right. So got some awesome beer for an awesome price. Now, you want to serve this at about 55 degrees, and this is 8.3%, so it's actually, it's not a weak beer, but considering the trend for most Imperial Stouts to be at least 9%, if not above, it's not the strongest out there anymore. But yeah, that pours out pretty much pitch black. There's very, very slight reddish hue. Very minimal though. There's only about a finger of a nice dark tan roasted looking head. Oh wow. Right away the first thing I get is a ton of black coffee. Oh yeah, wow. It smells like espresso in there. I definitely get a lot of roasted malt notes. There's a big like chocolate, dark and milk chocolate, a little bit of like a caramel sweetness in there. But wow, yeah, just huge amount of coffee, very big chocolate. It smells a little bit sweet, but not like cloyingly. Smells kind of like breakfast in a glass. I think this would go fantastic with breakfast. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Let's go ahead and take our first sip. Just like in the aroma, there is a ton of coffee. It's almost like having an iced black coffee to a certain extent. You definitely get a lot of that dark chocolate. You get some milk chocolate sweetness in there as well. A little bit of caramel. A decent amount of big roasty notes too. I almost get a faint hint of vanilla in there. Now, I know they're not using vanilla, and obviously it's not barrel aged, but you know how you can sometimes get different roast levels on coffee, and sometimes you get a little bit of that vanilla kind of sweetness? That's what I'm getting in here. But yeah, this is just, if you're a coffee lover, this is hands down one beer that you have to try. And this is super fresh. It's got a pretty creamy mouthfeel. It's not as smooth as I remember. It's definitely very creamy, but I do remember it being a little bit smoother when I've had it before. It's been a while, honestly, because I don't even think I had any last year, but very nice mouthfeel. The body, though, is a little bit thinner than I recall for an Imperial Stout. It's on the full end of medium, so it's a little thin for the style. Definitely not watery, not a huge issue, but it is a little bit thinner than I like for this particular style. The other thing is that I didn't really smell any alcohol, I didn't taste any alcohol, but I get a definite burn as it goes down. Now, it's not real bad, but at 8.3%, I think there's beer that definitely hide the alcohol better than this. So it's a little bit surprising. I really don't remember there being any type of alcohol, like a burn or anything before, but it's definitely there this time. So good. I have not had this on draft in a while. Alright guys, so for a rating, I am going with a 9.1. Founders calls this a breakfast stout, and I think that's a really accurate description. You get a huge amount of coffee, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. It balances bitterness and sweetness. You get that caramel, very faint hint of vanilla in there, a ton of roast. So it's not too sweet. It's not overly bitter. It just balances everything real well. And I can see this going with a variety of breakfast foods. You could have a bacon and eggs. You could probably have this with pancakes or waffles. You could have it with toast, a bagel, hell, whatever. I mean, if you're sitting there drinking an 8.3% Imperial Stout in the morning, or you could just have breakfast for dinner. That's what I would suggest. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Wouldn't have this before work. Probably not a good idea. But yeah, fantastic stuff. That being said, I think that some of their other beers in their lineup are a bit better than this, but fantastic beer. And one, if you guys have not tried, or if you haven't picked it up this year, I would say go ahead. If you can find it on tap for pretty cheap, hey, even better. The other thing I wanted to address real quick is a lot of people, and this is kind of a common misconception, is that this is the base beer for KBS. That used to be the case, however, I'm not sure how many years it's been. It's been a few years, though. KBS is actually its own beer. Like, it is not breakfast stout, and then it's aged in the bourbon barrels. It's actually a completely different base beer that is aged in the bourbon barrel. So, something I just wanted to throw out there for you guys. I know that a lot of people think that this is the base beer for KBS, and it's actually not. So, something I didn't find out until maybe 2 or so years ago, so I don't really know how long that's been. But originally KBS was this, and then aged in bourbon barrels, and then they changed it at some point, and I'm really not sure when. If anyone knows, like, kind of the rough date, leave me a comment, let me know, so that'd be pretty interesting. As far as my music recommendation goes tonight, guys, I am going with a band by the name of Arcade Fire. I want you guys to check out their album, Funeral, from 2004. It's their debut record. I'm sure many of you guys know of Arcade Fire at this point. They were an indie rock band. They're really too big to be considered indie at this point. Kind of more like alternative rock. They also have like a little bit of electronic type influence in their music. But yeah, I think Funeral is a great debut album. It's got some pretty catchy songs. It also has some more of like the kind of mellow, chill, slightly darker songs they're known for as well. And hey, they even have a song in there called Wake Up. Yeah, huh? Wake up with breakfast style. There you go. Maybe on vacation you could do that. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so check out this beer, check out the music, and I hope whatever you're doing involves good craft beer.